All right, personal training and rehab. What's the difference? Why should I pick one over the other? So just to kind of clarify for you, personal training is when we have somebody who's got training certification on how to build muscles and we want to do some hypertrophy, we want to do some body sculpting, we want to do some strengthening exercises, we want to do some stretching, we want to do kind of things to build up your fitness, your tone, your strength, and your flexibility. Now, when we do rehab in the office, that is more for somebody who's had an injury, whether it's a sports injury, a car accident, something where a muscle's been torn, a ligament's been strained, there's been some inflammation, there's been some acute trauma to that area. We have to rehab that first. And the biggest difference between rehab and personal training is that in rehab, you don't want to get too aggressive with the muscle first. We want to go through a process of what it takes to heal the muscle. If you get too aggressive during the rehab phase before you go into more of the fitness and the personal training, then you can actually cause some damage. And this is where we kind of get some rift between physical therapists and athletic trainers and personal trainers, because everybody wants to bring the philosophy into it. When it comes to rehab, it's not about philosophy. There's very clear science on how a muscle reattaches. There's very clear science on how a torn muscle heals. So we go through that process if you've been injured with rehab first, or if you're just coming into us for personal training and you have no issues on the rehab side, there's no acute injury, then by all means we can use different philosophies which match whatever you want to kind of reach, whether it's you want to have a V-shaped look, you want to be stronger, you want to actually isolate your abs and try to make those stand out, or you want your shoulders to be bigger. We can do all that through the personal training side. But on the rehab side, it's a very specific protocol depending what your injury is. So the biggest difference between rehab, physical therapy, or physiotherapy rehab, and personal training is following a standardized protocol to get a muscle to a point when we actually can do personal training.